Good morning, good morning. I hope you're having a beautiful Sunday morning so far. I'm going to wait just a minute or two and see if anybody would like to join live. If you do come in and join me this morning, I'd love to have you just leave a hello in the comments so that I know who's here. This morning we are working on a seed of intention meditation. I have been connecting with lots and lots of people this week, and there seems to be a general theme of people struggling a little bit right now. And I think that sometimes there's this pressure that comes along with the beginning of January. We think that this new year is going to bring these fresh new results and new behaviors and new everything. And when that doesn't automatically happen, we start to maybe get a little bit frustrated or a little bit depressed with it. And so January can be a tough month for some. But I wanted to try to help with that. So this morning, we are going to set some intentions. Hi, Katrina. Good morning. So I like to think of intentions as maybe the baby sister of goals. Intentions are much softer. They're much lighter. They're flowier, right? So when you have goals, they're very concrete, and you're figuring out all the details. I think of intentions as more about getting into the feeling of what you want and the flow of what you want and coming at it from that perspective. So that's what we're going to do this morning. All right. You may want to have something to jot notes down with. If you don't, that's okay, but it might be helpful as you go along. And as we do this, feel free to take a moment to write down a note or two. As these thoughts are coming to you, you may want to make sure that you have them written down. And let's just get into a comfortable seated position. I do recommend sitting for this instead of laying down or moving about, but let's just get really comfortable. Don't have to be sitting any particular way. And you can close your eyes here. And let's just take a deep breath in to get started. And release it. And another one. And let that go. And I want you to think about anything that may be pulling your attention away that you came into this meditation working on or thinking about. Maybe it's your family or pets or chores, the things that you have to take care of today. I want you to imagine that there's this little cord between you and this thing that's attaching you. And the energy is flowing out of you through this little cord and into whatever this thing is. And now you have a pair of scissors in your hand. And you're just going to take your scissors, and you may have cords all over the place. And you're just going to start snipping at those little cords. Just calling that attention back to yourself, just for right now. Just take a moment to snip those little cords that are attaching your energy to somebody or something else. And each time you do, you feel that energy coming back into your body, strengthening you, giving you more energy, empowering you in a way. And all those other things are just gently floating away for right now. They'll be okay. They don't need your attention at this moment. Once you feel satisfied that you have let go of anything that is tethering you to them right now, just take another nice, deep, energetic, yet calming breath in and releasing it. Now, I would like for you to get into, embody the feeling right now of pride, of accomplishment, of satisfaction. Now, just saying those words may be enough for you to be able to feel those feelings in your body, but it's possible that they don't. So I want you to think of a time that you felt full of pride, full of accomplishment, full of satisfaction. And just take a moment and live in that memory for a moment or two. Enough that you can feel in your body that sense of pride, that sense of accomplishment, of satisfaction. Where does it show up for you? Is it in your stance? Can you feel it in a certain part of your body? Now let's release that feeling for a moment. And let's bring in one of tenderness, of softness, of really loving, lovely energy. And again, maybe in this circumstance, you want to think about somebody that you feel this tenderness towards, or a memory where you felt that love and that tenderness and that softness. Where does that show up for you in your body? All right. You can let that feeling float away as well. Maybe saying a quick little thank you for it. We are going to think about the overall feeling that we want to have going into our next week. Maybe you would like to have an underlying current of the feeling of being motivated next week. Maybe you would like to have the general feeling of peacefulness and calmness throughout your week next week. Maybe you want to feel really powerful next week, or successful. Maybe you want to carry forward that loving feeling that you just had, that tender feeling. It could be none of those things, and it could be something that you are completely feeling into right now. But sink into that feeling the way we just did a moment ago and see how it shows up for you in your body. Just fully embody that feeling that you want to carry into your next week with you. Don't forget to take some breaths in and out as you do this. Should be very relaxed. Nothing should be forced here. Just let it come into you completely and fully. Now, I would like for you to think about your relationships. And this could be any kind of relationship. It could be your romantic relationships. It could be the relationships with your coworkers, with your friends, with your children, with your fur babies. And I want you to think of how you want to approach your relationships next week. Maybe there's one word you can use to describe how you'd like to feel with these relationships next week. As you embody that feeling and you feel it in your body without any forcefulness or any pressure, just sitting in that feeling, allow an inspired action to come to you that will help you with this feeling for next week. Just one. Something that you may be able to focus your attention on for next week that will ensure this feeling for you for the next week. Again, just let it come to you. If you sit in this feeling for just a moment, it will just appear for you without any force. This may be a moment you would like to just jot that down on a piece of paper. We're going to set relationships aside for the moment. We're going to think about how we want to feel with our work next week. Again, this may look like feeling inspired by your work next week. Feeling a freshness, a newness to your work next week. Being motivated in your work. Feeling gentle in your work. And as you embody that feeling, again, see if an inspired action comes your way, something that you may be able to do to help that feeling along next week. Feel free to jot it down if it comes to you and you'd like to. And let's set work aside right now and move on to play, to fun. Many of us forget that this is a very important component of our days and our lives. So let's get into the feeling of play and of fun and how that feels, how we want that to feel for us next week. And as you get into that feeling, maybe it requires you to bring up an old memory of the time that you had a great time. As you're feeling into that, allow it to present you with an inspired action for next week in the area of play and of fun and of silliness and of childlike behavior and of letting go. And allow that inspired action to come through you. I think this one might need another moment or two. Setting aside that play and that fun for next week. Let's move on to finances. Finances can be stressful for a lot of people. So let's be very intentional about how we want to approach our finances next week, how we want to feel when we're thinking about our finances. Whether it's checking your account balance or paying a bill or shopping for your necessities. Oftentimes, stress is associated with that. So let's be very deliberate now in a feeling that is not stressful, but maybe easy, maybe abundant. You don't need to know how necessarily. That is why we allow that inspired action to come through us. And it may not arrive for you right now. Maybe right now it's enough to just jot down that feeling that you would like to feel when you approach some of these areas. Maybe your inspired action will show up later today or tomorrow. Whenever it does, it will be the exact right time. Nothing about your intentions needs to be forceful. It's much more about allowing. When you allow, those intentions are coming from your soul. Setting aside your finances, let's move on to health. And health can encompass your diet and your exercise. It could encompass how you're treating yourself, your body. It could encompass how you are handling any illnesses or sickness, how you're handling being tired, being exhausted, being stressed. How would you like to feel about your health next week? See if that inspired action will make its way in, and it doesn't have to be anything major. You could be drinking more water next week. Taking a walk, making a doctor's appointment. Just allow it, let it come in and attach to that feeling that you are creating. Okay, let's set that health aside. I want to return to that original overall feeling that we began with, that feeling that we'd like to carry through our week with us. And I would like for you, if this feels comfortable to you, to express a physical embodiment of this. And if you wanted to feel really powerful, maybe it's a powerful stance, it's a fist raise, or if you wanted to feel more peaceful and calm, maybe it's prayer position at your chest. Let's try to match your physical body with the feeling that you feel inside of your body for this. Take a nice deep breath into that, whatever that looks like. And again, another nice deep breath. Bringing these two, your outer body experience and your inner body experience together. As you move throughout your week, come back to your intentions. Revisit them. If you took notes, maybe have them in a place where you can check in with them every morning. Very, very importantly, have grace with yourself and know that you can reset as often as you'd like and at any given moment. Things happen, stressful things come about. Our lives do not follow the course that we always expect it to. And you will naturally react to that. And that is perfectly okay. It's expected. It's the human response. But just know that after your reaction, You can have grace with yourself. You can accept that reaction. You can thank the reaction. And you can come back to your intention and move forward from that place of intention. I wish you a beautiful week ahead. Take a nice deep breath in. You can open your eyes if they're still closed, and you can come fully back into this space. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions or if you'd like to share anything. And I wish you a beautiful week ahead and a very empowering week ahead. Thanks, Katrina, for joining live. Thank you for anybody who watches the replay. If you do watch the replay, a hashtag replay so I know would be wonderful, and I will see you all soon.